Welcome to Forgotten Tillies, where lost stories come to life. If you love Mr. Horror and spine-chilling tailies, you're in the right place. Tonight's story is not just about fear, it's about something darker. A tale of whispers that never fade, of shadows that never leave. This is The Whispered Shadow. Sit back, turn off the lights, and let's begin. The road stretched before him, silent and empty. Ethan had always been a skeptic. He didn't believe in ghosts, curses, or whispered legends. But as he walked down Blackwood Lane that night, something felt off. The town had long abandoned this part of the city. Houses stood like forgotten graves, their windows broken, their doors barely hanging onto rusted hinges. Blackwood Manor loomed at the far end of the street, its towering structure wrapped in vines, its gates forever half open. As if inviting the lost and the curious inside, Ethan wasn't planning to stop. He had no reason to. But then he heard it. A whisper, soft, faint. Ethan. He stopped mid-step, turning sharply, his eyes scanning the deserted road. The wind had died. The air was too still. The only sound was the faint rustling of dry leaves behind him. Then he heard it again. Come inside. A chill crawled up his spine. His breathing grew shallow. He looked toward the house. The rusted gate creaked open on its own. Every instinct screamed at him to walk away, to keep moving. But something unseen was pulling him in. Ethan stepped forward, pushing the wooden door open. It groaned in protest, revealing a grand hallway coated in dust and decay. The air was thick, stale, as if the house itself had been holding its breath for years. His footsteps echoed in the silence. As he moved deeper inside, the feeling of being watched grew stronger. He ran his fingers along the walls, tracing the faded wallpaper. At the far end of the corridor, a large portrait hung crookedly. It was torn, burned along the edges, but the face of the man in the painting seemed familiar. His flashlight flickered. Then the door behind him slammed shut. He spun around, heart pounding. The room was darker now, the shadows stretching unnaturally. The silence was deafening. And then he felt a presence. The whisper came again, but this time, it was right behind him. You shouldn't have come. Cold breath brushed against his ear. Ethan froze. Every muscle in his body screamed for him to run, but he couldn't move. His flashlight flickered again, and for a brief moment, in the dim light, he saw something move. A shadow, not his own. It glided across the floor, pooling along the walls like living darkness. The whisper turned into many whispers, overlapping, surrounding him. You were mine once, and now you will be again. The flashlight died completely. Darkness swallowed the room. Ethan stumbled backward, reaching for his phone, but the screen was dead. The whispers grew louder. Now a chant, a voice calling his name over and over. Then, beneath his feet, something moved. A journal. Dusty, its pages yellowed with age. He picked it up, his hands trembling. The cover was blank, but when he opened, his own name was written inside, page after page, filled with his handwriting. But he had never seen this book before. Flashes of images exploded in his mind, memories that weren't his, or ones he had forgotten. He saw himself standing in this same house, years ago. But he was younger, laughing, exploring. He saw another boy with him, his brother. Then the image shifted. The house wasn't abandoned. It was alive, full of warmth, filled with voices and laughter. And then, screaming blood. The last thing he saw was a shadow wrapping around his brother. The whisper returned, now deeper, more menacing. Now Do you remember? Ethan gasped, his chest tightening as he finally understood. This wasn't his first time here. This was his home. And the shadow was waiting for him to come back. The house trembled as the shadows surged forward. Ethan turned to run, but something grabbed his ankle. He fell, his breath knocked out of him. The whispers turned into screams. A voice, his brother's voice. Ethan, help me. He looked up and saw him, his brother, standing in the darkness. But his face was wrong, twisted, not human. The shadow rose behind him, stretching, shifting, taking shape. It had no face, only deep, endless voids where eyes should be. The last thing Ethan felt was cold hands wrapping around his throat. His screams never left the house. The next morning, the town woke to an unsettling silence. Ethan was never seen again. Some say he vanished, others say his soul was claimed by the house, but those who pass by Blackwood Manor on quiet nights, they swear they can still hear his voice, whispering, calling for help. But no one ever answers. Some places never forget, some shadows never fade, and some whispers never stop. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Forgotten Tales for more haunting stories. And remember, if you ever hear a whisper in the dark, don't answer it. You may not like what's whispering back.